Guardian Legend is an RPG shoot-'em-up hybrid released for the NES in 1988 by Irem, Broderbund and Nintendo. We'll get to that later. It was developed by Compile, a now-defunct company known by the creation of the Puyo Puyo franchise and specialized in shoot-'em-ups, from Xanac for the MSX to Blazing Lasers for the TurboGrafx 16. Guardian Legend is actually a sequel to 1986 Guardic for the MSX, but other than some sound effects, loose events in the story and some similar sprites, they share nothing other than the fact you shoot stuff. Evil stuff. In the Guardian Legend, we play as an unnamed, her name is actually Miria, Gynoid, Guardian of Earth, who can transform into a spaceship. Our mission is to infiltrate Naju, a planet-like object filled with alien life forms that is heading towards Earth. So it's kinda like the Death Star, but with aliens. Neat! Inside we need to activate 10 safety devices in order to initiate the self-destruct mechanism. We know this because someone else tried to do it before, but failed. Still, he was cool enough to leave hints in each zone on how to open the seal for each corridor. Thanks, random dude from outer space. Naju is divided into a main hub and 10 zones paired into a total of 5 teams. Water, desert, freaking death, you know, the usual suspects. Once you start, you feel like it's an incredible, ultra-repetitive looking, open world. And don't take me wrong, it is a big and explorable world, but the exploration becomes linear very fast, because in Zone 1 you find the key to enter Zone 2, in Zone 2 you unlock access to Zone 3, and so on. But that's not why you're here watching, is it? You want to see things go boom! It is a shoot-'em-up after all. Well, look no further. As soon as you press start, the game throws you into the first corridor, in the good old-fashioned style of "here's you, good luck kid!" And a few seconds later, rocks and enemies start hurtling towards you at top speeds. Immediately you get a taste of what the shoot-'em-up sections here are all about, speed and chaos. If you survive the first trial, you enter Naju and are told the story I already told you. And can explore the overworld in all directions. You will find all sorts of weird enemies with unusual patterns you can kill for points, so you can level up your health, and in some squares mini-boss battles will ensue, usually gifting you a pickup when beat. These will range from auto-level up pickups, kinda like rare candies in Pokemon, attack up, defense up, shooting rate up, special weapons you can use both in the overworld and in the shoot-'em-up segments, and red faces that increase your chip limit. This is because your special weapons use chips when used, like a currency. Normal enemies will very often drop health and ship pickups, and while they are plentiful, you need to always keep an eye on both, because being low on chips reduces your firing rate, and being low on health leads to, you know, death. Also, enemies drain your health in a heartbeat, like really fast. Just look at this, there is a millisecond of blinking time. I know. Normal people call it post-hit invulnerability, but blinking time just sounds better for the 10-year-old me, like those people who call extra lives extra guys. But back to Naju. Inside each zone you will find 2 corridors, one main corridor and one sub-corridor, numbered from 11 to 20. Why they did that makes no sense, just call it Corridor 1A or Sub-Corridor 1. Anyway, you'll need to explore each zone to find all the mini-bosses hidden within, and the hidden rooms with a hint on how to open the seal to the main corridor. They are very basic stuff, like stand still or use a special weapon, but it's a nice touch on pacing the overworld properly. But it is in the corridors the real fun is at. All you collected in the overworld is relevant here, as you need all the power-ups you can find to beat some of these stages and bosses, because the game spikes in difficulty often. As I said, it's fast and chaotic, but in a strange way. You see, the Guardian Legend has a health bar, unlike most shoot-'em-ups of the time, or hell, most shoot-'em-ups since, and having a health bar completely changes the formula. It's no longer avoiding everything, it becomes about prioritizing threats and picking up collectibles along the way, so you never run low on chips or health. This allows for most enemies to have more aggressive, unusual and interesting patterns and forms of attack. It also allows the game to have a million different enemies all at once. Just look at this, deliciously ridiculous. And it's here the special weapons become important the most. Different enemies lead to different strategies, and the 12 or so different special weapons allow you to deal with threats in any way you see fitting, from a freaking laser right in front of you, to death rays from the side, to simply banana tactics. Changing special weapons is clear and simple. You press select and open the status menu. You have all kinds of useful information here, from the minimap with relevant corridors marked at all times, to your attack and defense status, and at the bottom, all of your toys. I know it kinda sucks to open the menu each 5 seconds in some situations, but it could be way worse. Like using passwords! Yes, this game doesn't have a save feature. To save the game, you need to find special rooms scattered throughout Naju, where you find a friendly alien race offering to save your playthrough. You choose no special weapon, shoot, and here we go, a long and tedious password you need to input next time you turn off your NES. Stop complaining, we live in a time of phone cameras and save states, so adjust accordingly. At the end of each corridor, you'll find a boss, each different and unique in size, power and patterns. To beat most of them, you'll have to think outside the box and find a special weapon that fits your playstyle.
Laser! Laser!
And now for a normal review. The graphics are correct. I'm not going to tell you they are the best the NES has to offer because they are not. The sprites are pretty awesome and very detailed, but most of the backgrounds are simple and repetitive, ranging from a boring blue to a sea of puke green. I understand this was necessary for the corridors to scroll so fast. Have I mentioned how fast everything goes sometimes? It's pretty impressive for the time, especially on Nintendo hardware. Even Super Nintendo struggled with this kind of speed. As far as the sound design goes, the music is pretty good. The game has 2 composers, both very experienced in composing for the shoot-'em-up genre, and it shows. Each track does a great job at giving that feel of adventure or hardship in the boss battle. The sound effects are also correct, I just feel the explosions could use more. Near the end of your adventure, you finally reach Area 10, and here is where everything goes a little overboard. You'll keep avoiding enemies in the overworld and abusing the screen clearer in the corridors, because the game just throws everything at once, and I do mean everything. At the end, you'll face a boss rush, and finally activate the last safety device, giving you barely enough time to escape Naju, while it explodes into a million pieces. The end. Or is it? The final boss finally reveals himself, and holy cow, this is what I call a final boss. It's big, it's menacing, summons a ton of minions, and it has a lot of health. Of course, at this point, we are so powered up, we end up killing him with banana tactics.
Laser! Laser! Ah!
And for all our effort, we are awarded some old school credits with an awesome team in the background, a pixelated babe, and Japanese names we couldn't care less when we were kids. But ho, what's this? A password for us? That's right, the password TGL is a whole different kind of replay value. Entering this password will make the game be the shoot-'em-up sections only, since you don't explore the overworld of Naju anymore, and let's be honest, we would want to do it again anyway. All the power-ups are given to you at the end of each section, accordingly to your score, making the playthrough much harder. Replay value, I hate this boss out of 10. And that is the Guardian Legend for the NES. 2 very different game genres, united in a cohesive and intuitive way to create a masterpiece many still call a hidden gem or relic for the platform. Now, if it is such an amazing game, why did almost no one knew about it back then? Well, for starters, it was released a couple of years before the Super Nintendo, at the end of the NES lifecycle. So fans and moms alike were already starting to move on, you know. Second of all, Japan cover looked like this. Pretty, right? In Europe, we got this. But in North America, they got this. What is this? Is this Naju? Is this pure evil looming over Earth? And finally, I don't know why, I'm not an accountant, I'm just a nerd who likes old games like this one. And honestly, if you're looking for something different but very high quality, the Guardian Legend is it. Smart, engaging, and gives you all the toys you need so you have fun shooting fish and exploding aliens. I love explosions. Thank you for watching Dust of the Relic, and I hope to see you guys next time.